The Revenant is directed by Alejadro Gonzalez, who previously directed the Best Picture winner Birdman, and for me is the first movie of 2016. In this film, Leonardo Dicaprio stars as a fur-trading frontiersman named Hugh Glass, who after surviving a brutal bear mauling, is left for dead, as well as his son, and he returns from the dead to exact revenge on those who left him for dead. Now, before I give you my thoughts on this movie, I need to tell you this now. As a film reviewer and a film critic, it is my job to be very upcoming and forthfront with you guys about the way I think about movies, because all films are subjective, and this is my personal opinion of the movie. I think that The Revenant is one of the best movies I have ever seen. I have been waiting for so long for a movie that where I go and see it, I feel invested from the first frame to the last frame. And The Revenant is one of those few movies that has ever done it for me. I was completely in love with this movie. This film, everything about it was just so amazing, incredible, fantastic, whatever imaginative, awesome word you can come up for it, that is The Revenant. I have no idea where to even begin with this movie because everything just feels so right. You always feel in the moment. And now let's start talking about the cinematography and the direction. It blows anything I've ever seen away. This film is shot so incredibly well that you feel as if you are right there. You always feel like you are in the action. You feel like you are with Leonardo DiCaprio's character. Now let's talk about Leonardo DiCaprio's performance. Brilliant. This guy needs to win the damn Oscar. He's been nominated 5 times. Here comes his 6th nomination for Best Actor. He should win it because his performance in this movie is quite possibly the best performance I've ever seen from him. This guy is an actor. You can tell. He knows how to act. I have never quite seen a performance like his, ever. He's this fierce person who really knows how to handle guns. Like, he has dead-on accuracy that is just insane. But his character has so much built to him. There's so much character development that really makes us care for him throughout the entirety of the movie. And we also care about his son. He is just marvelous because you feel that type of father-son relationship. And of course, Tom Hardy. This guy, I can't even begin to describe how incredible his character is. And I don't want to get into spoilers because you guys need to see this movie. It's so spectacular because we get to understand what kind of a person he is and find out just how evil he really is. Now, I advise that no one under the age of 15 see this movie because this movie is insanely graphic and brutal. And when I say that, guys, watch the first 10 minutes of this movie and tell me that that scene isn't graphic or brutal. Because the first 10 minutes of this movie is some of the most breathtaking, bloody filmmaking I have ever seen in a film. I was in awe of every second of this movie, but the first 10 minutes of the film set you up for the entire movie. That set a course for just how bloody and graphic it is. You feel sick to your stomach through some scenes of this movie because of how violent and bloody they are, and because that a lot of this stuff actually really happened. True, when you think about it, the story truly is just about revenge, but there's a whole undersection, there's a whole subplot with just so many different meanings and metaphors that really don't explain it to you, but they're interpretations and implications you make in your mind. And that's what I think really stuck with me, that it was more than just, hey, this guy took my son, this guy left me for dead, I'm gonna return and kill him. This is not like Machete. This is a very different movie that has some of the best landscape shots I've ever seen. I felt like I was there with Leonardo DiCaprio. I felt like I was walking in the snow or dragging in the snow with him. Because the camera shots and the realism and the grittiness of every single scene made me so invested. There was not one moment in this movie, in this entire film, that I thought, it was just okay. This movie never dragged for me. A lot of people I've heard say this movie drags. This movie never drags. It is relentless. It is haunting, and you will never forget this movie. This is one of those unforgettable experiences. And I remember sitting there at the beginning of the film, and the audience that I was with, they were all kind of like this. And at the end of the film, they were like this. they were really honed in, and so was I. Even the musical score in this movie is fantastic. Also, if you guys have seen the trailer, there's a little section where a bear tries to hurt Leonardo DiCaprio, and I don't want to spoil that for you, but let me just say this. It is just so interesting. And when you do see it, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, because it is so intense, and I think it scared my entire audience. As I'm sitting here, I can't think of anything that I had a problem with this movie. There was nothing that I had an issue with. This, for me, is just as close to a flawless movie as you could get, because every scene was riveting. Every shot was riveting. There are so many one-shot takes that are so beautiful, and Alejadro Gonzalez knows how to direct. There's a lot of shakiness with the camera, but that is only meant to increase the intensity. And the only issue that people could have is, hey, it's a revenge story. Still, there's a lot more than you just may be thinking with the revenge story. It's what he has to do. It's his survival. Guys, The Revenant floored me. And this is the first movie of this year. If there's a movie that tops this, it's going to be in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I can't recommend it enough. If you guys have really stuck with me and heard what I just said, you need to see this movie now. Go and see The Revenant. Support Leo. Finally make this the Oscar win for him. Guys, I love The Revenant. And you guys know that I am, of course, giving The Revenant an A+. Wow, this is a great movie. Guys, thank you so much for watching as always. And if you have seen The Revenant, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you hate it? You're somewhere in the middle? Guys, I would love to hear those comments, so put them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching my videos, guys. You mean so much to me. Thanks, and stay tuned.